We have the head coach of the USMNT national team, Mauricio Pochettino. If you have a question, please raise your hand, we'll get started. We do have microphones. Okay, we'll start right here in front. Paul Tenorio.
Hola, Mauricio. What would you say you feel like you learned from today's game about the team, about the pool?
I think we should learn a lot, because I think I'm going to be very honest in the way that we were talking in the first half, in the halftime, and then at the end with the player and all the stuff. I think we need to learn from that. I think overall, I think we were better than South Korea, but on the end, if you are not clinical, in your own area and in the opposite box, and they, it's difficult. Because we create more chances, we have, the feeling that we control the game, but in some action, I think we concede. I think we will start the game in a very good way, but I think we concede in a way that we should not concede. I think we were very focused, working a little during this week in not to give the possibility to run a player like Son on the space, and it's in the defensive line. In the moment that we receive the ball in the side, I think we were so passive and providing the space to score. And when you consider there's 20 minutes, I think was tough, was difficult. But I think we need to be positive, because I think in the second half the team played really well. We only conceded one shoot on target, and then the team showed character. I am so pleased, if I put the result in another side, I am so pleased in the way that we are evolving from the World Cup today with different players, different roster than the World Cup, but also the players that start to understand what we expect from them. I think the attitude was great. The capacity to be on the game after 2-0, that was difficult. Again, a team that is really good, I think is about to be pleased. Disappointed with the result because you want to win, but I think we need to take the positive things and prepare now the game against Japan. That is going to be similar, a similar challenge that South Korea. But I think despite the result, I think too many positive things.
Front row here.
I'm Mauricio McIntyre from Fox Sports. Two questions for me, if I may. What went into the decision to begin with Chris Richards on the bench and start Tristan Blackman in defense? And you talked about putting the result aside. At what point do you have to start getting results and getting wins in these tune-up games in the lead up to the World Cup to give yourself that confidence and the trust that you spoke about yesterday? When does that become more important than competing or
I start for the last question. we need to start to win when the World Cup starts. Too many examples that teams that win during 5 years and then arrive the World Cup and then they don't arrive in the best condition. And I was involved in 2002 with Argentina. We were unbeaten during 5 years, and then we arrived to the World Cup and we were out in the group stage. And it's a knockout stage. It's a group stage that you need to arrive in the best condition. And the first question is because Chris is with some issues. Were in Palace. I think we wanted to protect, not to play 90 minutes today. And always the objective is to protect the player, is to provide the best condition to perform. That is why he didn't start. And I think at the same time we are in a period that I think Tristan, with the possibility to perform, again a very good team. I think it's important to see how they can deal with the pressure to play in the high level. If we want to consider it for the future, I think it was important today to play with him. One of the reasons was that Chris didn't start is because he is not, or we wanted to protect. But at the same time, I think I am happy with the performance of Tristan. Even if always is difficult because always your first time, playing again a team like Korea that is very aggressive. They have very good pace in front. I think it was very challenging for us. And we were talking also in the dressing room. We want to challenge and we want to play against teams like Korea, Japan, good teams. We don't want to go and to see, to play against teams that maybe are below us, below or under us. It's not in the level of. I think the important thing is the highest level that we face is more risk, because I think maybe we are going to struggle maybe to get the result at the moment, but I think we are going to learn more, and then the most important, like you said, the result is we need to get the result in the World Cup.
Second row here. Jeff?
Thanks. Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. Mauricio, you talked earlier about the passivity on the first goal. What were some of the other reasons that your team struggled defensively in the first half? And I'm thinking the second goal as well.
We are talking about that we face players like a Heung-min Son, that is one of the best strikers in the world, not only in that competition that is MLS. I think we didn't struggle too much. Only we concede 3 shots on target on the first half, and we concede 2 goals. The rest of the data that I think we are in the country that is count a lot, I think were for us. We are struggling to control that spacing behind of the defensive line, and the 2 actions that come the goal is because we were a little bit passive and we didn't control, and we show a little bit lack of communication. But that is normal, that we were talking. I think we fixed and we were much better in the second half, and the feel is after the overall, after 19 minutes is good, but after to concede 2 goals was difficult to break down the defensive line. That they were good, but I think they were good because the keeper, I think, was the man of the I don't say man of the match, of the game. The keeper made unbelievable save. You can see on the last game Balogun, the 3 chances, another crease. I think overall, I think we were better, but with the disappointment that we need to compete better in try to not to concede this type of goal.
Second row.
Thank you. Ryan Tolich from Goal. Mauricio, you spoke about Son, and obviously there's no doubt that he's a world-class player and the type of player that when you get to a World Cup, you're going to have to deal with. And that's one of the challenges that comes with playing a World Cup is dealing with those players and then the moments they create. What type of lessons can these guys take from going against one of those players, but also on the flip side, like you said, having those moments themselves and not necessarily making the most of them in the way that he did?
Yeah, for different reasons, we have the roster, and then we can say first game of Tristan, playing with team. I think he was really, really good. I think you can judge, or you are doing question like we are a very consolidated or stable team with a roster that they are playing for 4 years together, and I think it's too many, things are going on in our roster that we are trying to find the good or the best balance for different reasons. I think we can. It's not my point to talk, but I think Serginho Dest or Balogun or different players, that they were struggled last season. They need time, but at the same time we need to know them. At the same time we need to give game time, to play and to create this link in between them. That is why I think we need to be really positive, because with a new roster that for first time some players are for first time, I think in the way that I performed today, I think we were better. Disappointed, of course, because I am very disappointed about the result. But I think overall in the performance, in all that maybe we were talking in the past, I think I didn't see that. I think it's a massive improvement and I think in this way that I told the player, I think the result will arrive soon, for sure.
Sanjay.
Hola Mauricio.
En español.
Sí, por favor. ¿Qué es el mensaje para la afición ahora? Porque tiene expectativas muy grandes para el Mundial y cuando se ve el rendimiento en la primera hora esta noche es difícil, sí, imaginar llegando a los octavos o mejor en el Mundial. Sí.
Hay que creer y el mensaje hay que creer. Lo importante que tenemos que tener es que en el inicio de la Copa del Mundo tengamos a todos los mejores jugadores que pensemos que tienen que estar dentro del roster en las mejores condiciones. Entonces, hoy estamos viendo que por lo que sea tenemos jugadores que a lo mejor no están jugando mucho. El caso de Tim Weah, que está jugando en una posición que para nosotros es diferente. El jugar de fullback a jugar de winger o wingback es diferente. Entonces vemos que después de 60 minutos los esfuerzos son diferentes, tiene que adaptarse a esfuerzos diferentes. Todo eso cuenta. Ahora, si no queremos que cuente, no cuenta, pero creo que todas las condiciones individuales de cada jugador de Estados Unidos, o que las posibilidades que tenemos de llamar jugadores que pueden ser importantes en la Copa del Mundo, quizás hoy no estamos en las mejores condiciones. Estaba hablando ahora con Heung-min Son, hablábamos de esa situación, ¿no? De que quizás estamos un poquito cortos en algunas cosas y estamos con la necesidad de tener tiempo para que todos esos jugadores puedan llegar a su mejor momento, para que cuando puedan venir y ser alineados en la selección nacional aquí puedan rendir en su máximo.
Jonathan Tannenbaum from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Thanks, Michael. Sort of to the point that you just made, obviously the public reacts quickly and loudly all the time. It's what the public does. But for you, when the time is limited with the players in a camp and the time overall is limited to the World Cup, how much time do you think you need to evaluate a player to decide whether he's at the level that you want him to be?
That is up to us, of course, to detect and to identify the player that will be in his best or in their best. And then is also the possibility that they need to perform in their clubs. They need to play, in a consistent way to arrive in the best condition of the World Cup. And I think that is clear. For different reasons, we struggle with too many, players. We are not lucky in some way, that because sometimes we bring some player and another need more time to recovery, or they are injured, or they are not in their best, and then when these guys appear, the another, they cannot come, and I think we are struggling a little bit and to be in the same, time, in the same moment all together. But I think for sure still time. Players, I think they are very conscious about they need to perform in their clubs and to arrive in the best moment, because like we were talking, it's difficult to arrive here and to change the condition of the level of the player when arrive. That is about how they need to perform and to work in their own clubs.
To left here, Ron.
First, what is Tim Weah's injury?
He's injured. Who said that he's injured? I don't know if
It looked like he.
We'll find out.
No,
for
it's
you.
cramps.
Yes.
Cramps.
Okay.
Cramps is no injury.
Okay.
I think he's a little bit tired. The hamstring. When he shoot, I don't know if you remember the action. I think he was. It's only cramp.
Okay. And second, as much as the players are used to home games with the opposing team's fans dominating, and you saw at the Gold Cup, is it still deflating for them to go to a game on U.S. soil and have the crowd overwhelmingly for the opponent?
I think I want to be positive from now and to encourage our fans to come and to I think I wanted to say thank you to the fans that were here. Our fans were amazing. I try to be focused every time that we attack or we create some chances. I want to say thank you to them and encourage that please come more and I think hope that we can change that, and sometimes the percentage of the the fans of the opponent and our own fans here.
On the corner here.
Hi, Party Catchery, CBS Sports. You said that you noticed some progression from the Gold Cup to today. I'm curious what you meant by that, what you learned specifically from today. And also you talked about how the group isn't stable. You've had a lot of new faces come in. Do you feel like, I mean, there's still one more game left in this month, but do you feel like you have a clearer picture now of which players are sort of rising to the top and which players aren't yet?
I didn't say that. Like today we saw an improvement from the World Cup. I say that it's in the line or it's in the way that we want to behave and perform and to show, because always that is affected, the feelings because you lose. When you lose, it's difficult to find positive things, and then with the days, and you start to analyze the game and start to see maybe better things that because the feeling is when you lose it's bad feeling, and it's difficult to see the positive. But we try with our experience to try to be very objective, and I think it's the continuity of the Gold Cup with different faces, different roster, maybe half roster of the Gold Cup. I think that is the improvement that I wanted to explain. That now I think it's a joy to train with this team. I think they start to understand that it's one team. We need to go all together. That we need to support all together. That of course that we need to communicate better. We know to know better, but that is normal because new player that you add half a squad, new half a squad, and always it's about time. And what I say about to be is many national team maybe for different reason they have the continuity to work for many years. Maybe 2 days ago we were watching Argentina Venezuela. It's the continuity to be 4 years and then won the World Cup and now nearly another 4 years. That is an advantage because you really, like a coaching staff, you can see and feel and understand every single player, and then when you put different characteristics or personalities on the dressing room or on the field, you already know how it's going to work. That we are testing too many things, like you say today. Why? Okay, Tristan, but Tristan, we wanted to see if Tristan, because we seen in Vancouver, I think, have the profile to be in the national team, but also he need to live the experience to be in this level. The pressure is different, everything is different, new teammate, yes, but I am happy about that only my reference was about that.
Andrew?
Thanks, Coach. Andrew Jones, Believe Network. Coach, just want to ask you, you had the positive build-up play going towards South Korea's goal multiple times in the match, but maybe was a little bit shy from some of your attackers. You felt you wanted to see more bravery in the final third, and did you share a good word with Sung Hyun Min after the match?
Can you repeat again, Andrew?
Yes. If you felt your forwards, your attackers did you want to see more bravery in the final third, more bite in the final third?
I think we were aggressive, and we create chances, and today we didn't score. Sometimes that happens. Of course, that we are going to demand to be more aggressive and more aggressive. I think in some point, we dominate and we create, and again a team that was very aggressive, and a team that is not easy to break down all the defensive line. But of course, we need to insist. When you asked me about, the question about it was injured Tim Weah. Tim Weah in the last year and a few months was playing in a position that completely different that the demands than today. But for us, it's a player that in an offensive way that can be very aggressive. But also, we need to create the habit again, because he loses a little bit this habit when you play fullback. It's another focus in your game, another demand, and then you need to change in few days and to transform that player that is his main mindset is defensive to an offensive player, it's normal that any time he was so excited and maybe spend too much energy. But that is in the the circumstance that we have, and I hope that can improve and he can play in the way that we think that is his best position. Hope that happen, but I think is be more aggressive, of course, be less passive and more intense and more focused when the opponent have the ball, and not to give the possibility to run when you have a player like Son in front. Of course, I think it's about to improve. Second half only we concede one shot on target, and I think we need to be positive, and I think we need to go to Japan being positive, and I think we are playing again a very good teams, and we decide to play with the federation again, very good team. We don't want today or Tuesday or next month to play with team that maybe you should win, and we don't want to play with a team that maybe cannot be involved in the World Cup. We want to play with a high level. If we can play again Argentina, again Uruguay, like we are going to play Ecuador or different, or Japan or Korea, we want to play. Of course that we put in risk the result, but we want to grow and we want to learn from this team. And I think for sure we have talented players that we are going to be much better, and we are going to improve. And for sure we are going to arrive in the best condition. That is my message to the fans. We are going to arrive in a very good condition, and with the help with the fans, I think we are going to be very, very difficult to beat.
He also asked about did you talk to Sonny after the match?
Yes. I was sorry. I was talking. Yes. He came to say hello. Unbelievable how his English is amazing, but he's learning Spanish, and yes, it's like my kid, it's like my son. Human son is like my son. Yes.
We'll go to Ivis. One question, Galarza.
Oh, well, excuse me, sir. Two quick one.
Espanol, no?
English. Played three center backs in the second half. Can we expect to see more of that going forward? And overall, what disappointed you the most about today's performance?
Yes, was a possibility to play with three central back in some games like today. They play in a similar like we played in the second half. I think it's a good moment to do some tests. No, if we can be more stronger. Sometimes some games to use three central, because our characteristics as a player like Serginho Dez or Alex Freeman or Max Arten, they are wing backs. They are players that can cover the distance there, and they have good quality. And then a player that play on the half space in between the line, that Pulisic, Diego Luna, Cendejas, De La Torre, too many players that they can play in that space, that we can create superiority and dominate that space. That is really important. That is one of the options. That sometimes to be stronger and maybe be more difficult, to beat and to be more athletic. I think we have some characteristics of the player that also we can use the three central back. That is something that we are going to start to use on the future, to change back four and back three. Yes.
And what disappointed you the most?
What disappointed? It's not a thing that disappointed. I am disappointed about the performance. It's only that. Yes, one thing I want to tell you, because I told them, when we play again without VAR, we need to be a little bit more nuts. Because I think, yes, sometimes no, because I understand the defensive line, because we force when it's VAR in the official competition is to go high, keep the line high, to help and everything. And maybe today wasn't that day to keep the highlight. That is the habit that sometimes when you play without VAR, you need to protect a little bit more, because sometimes the referee offside or no offside. This action was so tight, maybe it wasn't offside, but another action that needed to score Team Guea, in an action that was offside. But it was tiny, maybe was or wasn't, both actions. But in one the referee say offside, another wasn't, and was goal. That is why that is a little bit disappointed, that we need to compete better when the technology is not there. is to be a little bit more naughty in the way to compete.
The players are ready for the mix zone, so thank you, Mauricio.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.